Hello and welcome back to the 7th episode of the Online Trainer Show. I'm your host Jack Gad, and today we are interviewing Sukh Sidhu from the online fitness business. For anyone that doesn't know, the online fitness business actually runs the Online Trainer Show, which is this podcast. And Sukh obviously has been a PT in the past. He's been an online coach until he transferred into obviously teaching fitness professionals how to build their businesses from the ground up, or just even bettering their businesses full stop. So there's so many things that you guys can take away from this podcast about how Sukh got to where he is today. If you want to learn more about becoming a better trainer by joining our free groups, you can join the Online Trainers Society on Facebook. So if you just type that into the search bar. And also in June, on the 27th of June, we have got the OFB Live event, which is basically a full day event where you can come learn more about building your online businesses, how you can make sales, get more leads into your business as well. So the links for everything related to what we spoke about in the podcast today will be in the show notes. So I hope you enjoy, and obviously remember to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Alright, okay guys, and welcome back to the 7th episode of the Online Trainer Show. So today I've got Sukh Sidhu on the podcast, who is head honcho at OFB and also previous online trainer as well. So we're going to get into quite a lot of detail today with Sukh, and yeah, this is going to be a really interesting podcast. So how you doing, Sukh?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Really good. Looking forward to quizzing you on all things online trainer and online fitness business. So
I'm scared, mate. You're scary.
So for those that don't know, online fitness business is actually, well, they kind of own the Online Trainer Show. I basically do the podcast for them and do them for Sukh, and it's a great way to obviously talk to other trainers. And now we've got Sukh on the podcast, so we can really learn from Sukh about how he grew his online training business to where it was, and obviously to OFB as well. So give us a little bit of an intro to yourself, Sukh, about, I guess, how you got into the fitness world, where you started, and just like, I kind of guess where you are to now, like a brief overview.
That's the challenging bit.
Yeah.
So I've been in the fitness industry for a long time. I have no idea how long, 11, 12 years, completely forgot now. My background is actually retail, and it's ladies fashion. So I used to sell, well, my parents used to have, you said brief and I'm already like...
No, just go with the flow, carry on.
So my parents sold women's clothes, women's shoes in shops.
Yeah.
And I'd like work in the shops on the weekend and love it because loads of women, but hate it because loads of women.
Yeah.
So, I got to like 16. I went to college, but at the same time, it's time to work. So I decided I didn't want to work in the shops. I didn't want to open more shops. That wasn't the business route I wanted to go down.
Yeah.
So I started my own business doing the same thing, but online.
Okay,
so
cool.
I stuck to ladies' shoes, selling ladies' shoes online, and financially really successful. Emotionally and mentally, I hated it. I hated just being sat in a warehouse, 2 guys packing orders for me, surrounded in ladies' shoes, just boxes to the ceilings. And it was just, for me, soul destroying. Like, I just didn't enjoy it at all. Always loved fitness, always loved training, always been athletic and sporty, always trained. And people started coming to me in the gym, asking me what I was doing, because I seemed to look like I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I had absolutely no idea. So I started working with clients. I started training clients around my business. So I was working horrible hours in the business, but still making time to PT people.
Yeah.
Which kind of, looking back now, makes me realize I must have really loved it, because I was so tired, but I still wanted to do that.
So you're doing PT and the shoe business at the same time? Okay, well, yeah. It's quite a bit then.
So I was working with clients like in the warehouse that we had, at their homes, out the back of my car, just anywhere they would. Eventually, the shoe business took its toll, and I just packed it in. Walked away from the business, lost everything, but didn't care, because I thought I could be a PT now, and I was still young enough to
To not care.
not care
Yeah.
and it be okay, and to recover from that.
Yeah.
And to not realize just how badly I'd fucked up as well. So I started working with clients like full time, still just mobile working with clients. And then 6 months later, opened my own gym. So I opened a CrossFit gym, CrossFit Warrington, and then went incredibly well. 6 months later, doubled the size of the gym. Yeah, 6 months later, doubled the size of the gym. So we went from 2,500 square feet to 5,000 square feet.
Okay, cool.
A full gym, ran, really successful. About a year later, opened another gym. Much harder, having two locations and not being as experienced then as I am now when it comes to systems, operations, marketing, everything. So that was a struggle. And I'd say just before we opened that second gym, I'd started doing like challenges with the gym members. So a lot of people see online training as an opportunity to work with, some dude in New Zealand if you're in the UK, or
work worldwide before working locally. Yeah.
The reality is the first thing I did, and I forget about this, and I've not always spoke about this. The first like online thing I did, this is really embarrassing, were paleo challenges for my gym members. So we do a 30-day paleo challenge, which is just a horrible thing looking back now. But yeah, that's what we did, because people were coming to the gym, absolutely crushing it, training wise, going home, eating terribly, sleeping terribly, recovering terribly. So whilst, obviously paleo wasn't the right way to go about it, the idea was, let's support the client off the gym floor, which is what online training is, right? Yeah. So that was my first foray into delivering something that wasn't on the gym floor. And that like massively influenced what I eventually got to with Project Lean. So we carried on doing them. We did all kinds of challenges, like training and nutrition based. So we'd have, we did like a barbell challenge, a power athlete challenge, where it was all about like American football style, like explosiveness, 40-yard sprints and bench and all that stuff. And we did all these challenges that were basically online programming, and maybe we'd get together once a month or whatever. And they went really well. And again, probably a great model for online trainers and other trainers and gym owners right now to offer that next level of service. So I started looking at what else I could do online. Saw what Joe Wicks was doing. This was like right at the beginning of the Joe Wicks. Well, when he first started, he's like, okay, he's just started. And I think when he first launched, he did something like 60 grand or something like straight away. Yeah. Or 6 grand. I don't know. Something that back then to me was like, whoa, crazy. I want to do that. So I just modeled what he did. I was like, okay, a 90-day program split into 3 30-day sections. I'm going to sell the whole thing. People buy it. They get 30 days worth of the program. When they finish that, they come back to me and I give them the next 30 days. When they finish that, they come back to me and I give them the next 30 days. And it did really well financially, like did 20 to 30 grand, just like, hey, I've got this new thing. Who wants to buy it? And it went really well. Yeah. But nobody came back for the second 30 days because it was a shit product. It was maths, basically. And this is, I'd got away from paleo by this point. So it was like evidence-based. It was evidence-based, but like templates. So people were getting their first 30-day program, but there was no coaching, no support, no accountability, just nothing. Like, here's the program, buy, come back in 30 days. 30 days had passed. I was like, okay, out of the, 100 programs we've sold, 3 people have come back and said, finished, give me the next bit.
Yeah, so there's no sort of consistency after it. They just kind of gave up type thing.
Yeah, and so then like weeks and weeks have passed and you get the odd person get in touch, be like, what happens next? I've done the 30 days, like, what now? And I'm like, you're supposed to get in touch with me and I send you the 30 days. And there were people who were like 6 weeks or 12 weeks or like 6 months later, they'd get in touch and be like, I bought this thing from you. You gave me 30 days and then I never got anything else. I was like, yeah, I know, because there wasn't anything else. And so you got back in touch with me and you're like, all right, I want a refund. So that was like, okay, that makes money, or it did make money, but it's a headache. It doesn't really like sit well with me that people don't get it and aren't getting the results from it that I want them to get.
Yeah.
It clearly needs some kind of support element. So I started trying to figure out how to deliver online training. Around the same time, I had no awareness that the whole six-figure Fit Pro thing was wrong. I thought, okay, these guys are killing it online. Maybe I should go and learn from them. Spent a few $1,000s, so I think it was $3,000, on someone to show me how to work with clients online. And it was just terrible. It was, okay, cool, thanks for your money. Here's access to a membership site. And in that membership site, it was like, here's how to sell high ticket.
Okay, yeah, so high ticket programs, straight into that.
And there's nothing wrong with selling high ticket per se, but it's just like, that's what you do. You have to do that. And the thing that really put me off it was there's like an onboarding phase, and it was like, here's the first thing you do. Over the next 7 days, you're going to post a video every day on your social media. And it was like the first one, tell a horrible story that's really painful, that makes you feel like shit. If you can cry, then cry. Make it relevant to health in some way. And basically talk about something shit, make people feel like shit in the hope that it'll wake them up, and then you can high pressure sell them. You know, oh, that video resonated with you, then your life must be shit, so buy this from me. And I was like, I think I posted one video of that series. Yeah. Which is deleted now. I remember deleting it not long after, and it did get like comments and, oh, well done for sharing, and I just felt dirty because it was fake. Yeah. Right? So I just never logged back in, ever. And the funny thing is, I've got an old Dropbox account I logged in a while ago, and the stuff from that course must like transfer to the Dropbox account. And I look at it now and I'm like, how did I not realize that this shit was so bad? So that was like an expensive mistake. I don't regret it because it just
fueled the fire to do different to that, I guess.
Yeah, and that's not the case for everyone, which is why I kind of actively speak up against it, because I know that just because for me that was a learning experience, and it took me on the path of, okay, that's not the right way, let's figure out the right way. But for a lot of people it would be, shit, this person has really ripped me off, my ego's damaged, my pride's damaged, I've lost faith, I don't want to do this anymore, I quit. Yeah. And that's what most people will do, and you can't blame them for doing that. So I decided to work with 6 people for free for 12 weeks and just figure it out. Yeah. Like, how do I work with clients online? How do I help them? I use different apps. I use different ways of communication: WhatsApp, email, phone, meeting up in person, Dropbox, Google Drives. Tried to use spreadsheets, and even though I'm terrible with technology, just tried everything. Tried different ways of like how I'd get feedback, how I'd get check-ins, and just figured out what bits were important, what bits weren't important, for getting clients results and making sure it's a good, smooth experience for them. Yeah. And something that a technologically challenged person like me can still do. And that's it. And I tell that to people sometimes. I'm like, what app should I use? Go and try them.
And try it, yeah.
And they're like, no, just give me the app. And then I see them just asking somebody else instead. And I'm like, you're not going to do well because you can't figure it out. You can't figure things out yourself. Yeah. So that was like the start of me like, yay, I know how to do this now. I worked with those 6 people for 12 weeks for free. And one of those people was my last ever online training client, just finished a couple of weeks ago. And that was like 4 years ago now. Yeah. So it took me for 4 years. 4 years. Off the back of a 12-week free thing. Towards the end, I was like, stop paying me because I can't deliver the level of service you require. And he's like, nope, just carry on sending me money. So I worked with those people, and then I started launching a Project Loom challenge. as well. So that was exactly the same as what I was doing for the gyms when I was doing, here's the challenge, the paleo challenge. But now it was Project Lean, which was, I think when it first launched, it was 30 days. I created these templates that were based around the meals within the templates, or people could make their own meals by using specific portion sizes. So all these portion sizes would add up to certain calorie amounts.
Okay. So you've got templates there ready for whenever people come in to make it obviously more effective and time saving for you as well.
Yeah. So that for the first few programs, there would always be new templates that I'd need to make because different people would come in never worked with someone in Project Lean so small or so big or so inactive or of such a standard of athlete or whatever, or maybe a vegan or whatever it is, celiac, whatever, colic or celiac?
Celiac, colic.
Yeah. Celiac, yeah. Too much time around babies, colic. Yeah. So that's what I do. I create these templates, and then whenever somebody a little bit different came in, I'd just create a new template, and then I've got it for all future people who are like them. Support people in a Facebook group, provide a bit of education, but mainly just enjoyment. Because I knew that the best opportunity for me to get them great results was just to get them from day 1 to day 30.
Yeah.
If they complete the program, I knew 100% they'd be in a better position. They'd be happy. I knew it because the templates were good, and it meant they've enjoyed it and stuck with it. That was my job, right? It wasn't to bore them. It wasn't to just educate. Yeah, I wanted to set them up long term, but they needed results. They needed to enjoy it. So that was the goal of the program. Off the back of it, I then started selling people into one-to-one online coaching, my VIP coaching, I called it. And that's kind of the model that I stuck with throughout, really. 2016 online by that point had been going really well for quite a long time. I wasn't enjoying the gyms anymore. The guy who I set the gyms up with originally, my best mate Ian, had sold his shares the year before. So that took a lot of the fun out of it. And I decided, you know what, online fits better for me from a lifestyle perspective, happiness perspective. So I sold the gyms. Sold the gyms in 2016, and then just have been all in online ever since.
Okay, awesome. So you just went for the jump, went full in.
Yeah, I took the leap of faith, which I encourage you to do as well.
While we're talking about the gyms, I want to ask a question related to that, to online. Would you say having the gyms and working in the gyms had an impact on, I guess, your online client base? And if so, how did it have an effect? And if it didn't, what would you say for personal trainers now that are looking to take their business online, what they can do in the gym to create that online base?
Yeah, I think it had a massive impact on who my initial kind of audience was for my online services. The first group program for Project Lean was still like 80% gym members, 20% people who knew them or knew what I'd done with gym members. That's what it was. Yeah. That's why a lot of I moved to nutrition only, basically. That's what Project Lean was. It was just nutrition. And there was I had a profile in CrossFit. People knew who I was. And the nutrition side of things within the CrossFit community or network was terrible. So when I came in and started getting people results, and that was kind of an element that was just missing from a lot of CrossFit gyms, naturally other CrossFitters and CrossFit gyms wanted to know what I was doing and how I could help them, and that did have a big impact. So does that answer that question?
Yeah, it does.
So I think in terms of how other personal trainers could do similar, running something like a challenge for the gym members that you work in is so simple that people will ignore my advice to do it.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. ideally it's got a good, like a name of the program matters. And I know I speak about this to you guys in OFB. A name does matter. So I know a lot of people are having success with like Biggest Loser campaigns. And I guarantee the name is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. I had Project Lean at a time where lean was, and probably still is, a huge buzzword thanks to Joe Wicks.
Yeah, Lean in 15.
Yeah, so if you can create almost a brand, right? So some like amazing examples of this are like, if somebody wants, it's probably more American than the UK, but if somebody wants a tissue, they don't ask for a tissue, they ask for a Kleenex. So if somebody wants to go, we want to create something where it's like, oh, you know what, I'm going to do that Project Lean, or I'm going to do Lean 6, or whatever it is. So if you can create a great name for your program, launch it as a challenge to your current immediate audience, which is probably on the gym floor, get them amazing results, help them. People, like, word spreads in person so quickly, right? More than it does online. Yeah, it does. It does more powerfully than it does online. So if you help 20 people in a gym at once, they're all going through this program, it's 30 days, they're all changing, they're all buzzing, they're all talking about it. I guarantee another 20 people will hear about it and they're going to enroll. And it's just a really easy way of growing your online business. And the people miss that step. They're like, I'm an online trainer. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning, how do I go and work with Bill in New Zealand and Tony in Sweden and whatever? So for me, that should be the first step. Who can you talk to in person that is right for being an online trainer? For being an online client? Is it current clients? Is it previous clients? Previous leads? New leads coming in? Or just people on your gym floor in your studio?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think that's a very good insight for current trainers that are working in gyms to, I guess, do more if you want to take your business online. Like you said, I think obviously the majority of your Project Lean spots were filled from sort of the gym floor and getting people into a challenge. So in theory, you don't even need to advertise online. You could just advertise in the gym to get them into an online program. It's a very simple method. And if obviously as Project Lean grew and grew, like you managed to get more people from online into Project Lean, what would you say was the main method to bringing people into that challenge? Would you say it was through email, Facebook videos, maybe ads on Facebook? Like, what would you say was the main driver at that point?
So to begin with, it was just referrals.
Yeah,
that's what drove the growth of Project Lean to begin with. And I need complete honesty. What you need to remember is when I launched Project Lean, there weren't other people doing it. And you could get organic reach on Facebook. Yeah. So that helped. I'm not taking all credit away from myself, but that I have to say that it was easier then. Referrals massively underrated. And when I say referrals, there was no particular structure to begin with, but because I was getting people results, so most important thing, get people results, make sure get people results and make sure they enjoy it was the two biggest drivers of me getting more clients, because what it bred was advocacy. So a lot of people see a sales funnel as like what you just mentioned, what was the biggest driver of people or Facebook ads? And that's at this end. And let's go with this. So this is a funnel, yeah? People can't see this on the podcast, can they? Right.
Well, if you put it on YouTube, then they'll be able to see the makeshift funnel. So,
so if you're listening on the podcast, I'm creating a funnel with my hands. So people come into the top of the funnel. Traditionally, what people say is the large audience at the top of the funnel, smaller amount of people engage with your content, and then magically customers pop out the bottom. But that's not where a sales funnel ends, right? It opens back up again and we have loyalty. Those people stay. We get them results, they stay, we retain clients. And then the step after that is what grew my business, and that was advocacy. People talked about Project Lean. Not necessarily, hey, go and sign up to this. It was hashtag Project Lean. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, telling their friends about it. Again, not saying sign up to it, just talking about it and how great it was and how great I was and how great the program is, how easy it is, how they couldn't believe that I'd put bread in their program. People just spoke about it. So that was the biggest driver. And genuinely, for anyone listening to this, if you can make advocacy the biggest driver of growth in your business, then you will fucking win, right? Because it means you're doing so much right. People are talking about it, telling your friends, and it's a cheap way to grow, right? It's a cheap way to grow, because if you're happy to not go huge, right? A lot of people think they need to be huge. You don't need to. Yeah. If you are aware of that, then advocacy, just getting people results and having them speak about you, will get you to, you know, a 5-10K online training business.
Easily, yeah, for sure. And that's sort of rung true with a lot of guests that we've had on the podcast previously, like with AJ Morris, Steve Hall, Adam Ali. They've all, and Gordon Greenhorn as well, they've all built businesses through, like you said, advocacy, being talked about, being, like, I guess, popular in that niche. And I think the ad spend for most of them between is probably less than like £2,000 over their whole training career. So, like you said, I think just building up like a talk about you as a trainer and being known as the trainer to go to is key, really.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess, like, I'm excited to ask this question. If you had to build up again, what would you do to start? So, like, if like right now in this day and age, like different to 2016, where would your focus be if you had to try and build up Project Lean again? Or would you do Project Lean? Would you do something else?
So I wouldn't do if I personally was starting again, and I considered this probably 6 months ago or 12 months ago, I considered doing this. So here's what I would do personally. The first consideration for me would be having a really, really defined niche.
Yes.
Right? Really, really clearly defined ideal client. Because it is getting more difficult to be the guy who helps people lose weight. Well, it's always been difficult, right? But it was easy when I started. Now it's just becoming impossible. If you are just someone who helps people lose weight, well done. You're one of a billion people trying, or not a billion, but one of a million trying to help people lose weight. So I'd go incredibly niche. And the niche that I would probably go down, and this is just me, it's just an example to like paint a picture. I'd go for people like me, right? I'd want to work with people like me because it's an easy niche for me to talk about. New dad. The onset of dad bod is well and truly in motion. I'm busy as fuck, but I wouldn't, like, people get that wrong. Oh, are you a busy dad? Like, I'm busy as fuck. I don't need patronizing. I just need the answer. And I would be completely honest, completely blunt, completely myself, create content. So what I would probably do is I'd probably write more now.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I read more now. So I'd probably write more now because I think that's what other people like me would probably like, articles. But I would still focus on Facebook and Instagram because they are the cheapest ways to get eyes on what I do. So I would begin probably telling people what I'm doing on my personal Facebook profile, driving people to my articles on my website, making sure I really do have a deep understanding of who my ideal client was, and I would because it's me, but I'd still do deeper work, like speak to more people like me and find out, like, I have this timeline. Again, people can't see me on this podcast, but just imagine a horizontal line. On one end is hell, on the other end is heaven.
Yeah.
And I need to understand the entire journey. What is someone's hell, right? What do they hate? What are they scared of? What are their fears? What are their challenges? What does their journey look like getting towards their heaven usually? Why do they fail? What do they try? And, you know, what is their heaven? What do they aspire to be? All my content would be largely based around that journey, that timeline, right? I'd talk about the negatives, the pain points, but I'd also talk about the positives and everything in between on that journey. I would tell people what I'm doing on my personal profile regularly, post content on there most days because it gets more eyes on. And I am pretty sure that the majority of people that are on my Facebook personal profile are of similar age to me. A lot are men, more are men than women, and quite a lot now are dads because I've grown up with a lot of the people on there. So I'll have a relevant audience on there to speak to and to drive traffic to my website, tell them about what I do, build an audience on Facebook page with some really low-cost video ads. So I know I've spoken about this a lot, but for podcast viewers that don't know, I'd post a 60-second video or something like that on Facebook on my business page and run it as a video views advert on Facebook for between £1 and £5 a day. That's
Okay.
it.
And
That's just building the audience.
Just to stop you there, obviously, before you carry on, like obviously you mentioned Facebook ads. Do you feel online trainers need to be doing Facebook ads to grow their business? Do you think it's a necessity in a way?
No, I don't think it's a necessity. It's if I was starting again now, though, I know it'd be a relatively quick way for me to build an audience and stay in front of people.
Yeah.
Right, so if I'm just starting to talk about this, I don't want people to forget. It's going to take me a while to build momentum. Let's get a video up in the background that's just on Facebook all the time. So when I go to bed at my dad-like bedtime of 9 p.m., the video is still there. People are still seeing it. I'm not manually having to post content all day because you can't keep up with that. So I'd have that video running so that when people are people still say this to me now. Oh my God, I see you all the time on Facebook. You must be on it all day. I'm like, no.
I get that as well. when you have an ad running, it's like, I saw you the other day in an ad. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't me. It was just something I'd put there ready for you to see.
That's it. And like, I was in my barber's the other day and they were telling me like, all I ever see is you with that brick background and with your kid and all that. So yeah, I just have that. Even if people aren't consuming it fully, it's just like my face.
Yeah.
Don't forget about me. That's all it is. Be posting on Instagram regularly. But then if I wanted to launch something, so let's say I wrote an article, I've done some content here and there. What next? I would advertise what my service is, right? I may do a free version of it first if I felt I need to. I don't think I would need to now because I've got like a bit of legacy in the industry. And I've helped quite a lot of people who are still pay attention to me now, even though I talk about business more. So if I was completely new, I may launch a free program, right? Curious student post style. Hey, I'm launching a new online training nutrition program and I'd be specific, for people like me, right? Okay. Explain who that is. Before I start charging for it, I need someone to help me test and refine what I've created so far. I won't charge for my time. Get some people to work with. If it's for free, great. If you genuinely do need to figure out how to deliver it, just take on 5 people. And I think that's what we did when you first started.
Yeah, it's exactly what I did when I started. Yeah, exactly what I did.
If you do know how to work with clients online, like let's say it's me restarting now and I already know how to do it, I'd just drive hundreds of people in it because I know how to serve them. Yeah. Or it's a way for me to get like 100, 200 people into a program that I can help get their attention, have their undivided attention for a week or 2 weeks or however long it is, and then sell to them. Yeah. And that's what I would do.
Yeah, awesome. No, it's like a good, I guess, like a blueprint for trainers that aren't in the online world yet to get started on it. So yeah, that's cool. Thanks for talking us through that. So I want to go into talk a little bit about OFB now, how we got there and everything. So obviously the transition from PT to OFB, was that like, I guess, were you nervous to do that? And almost like in a way, why would you end up leaving the online coaching world? Obviously because you were doing incredibly well at the time as well. What made you really transition to teaching online trainers?
Yeah, so the first question, yeah, I was nervous. I wasn't nervous about it. I had some like limiting beliefs about it. So I saw all these people selling garbage, right, to personal trainers. Buy this program, it's like $5,000. I'm going to show you how to make 6 figures in 6 weeks. And I was like, this is bullshit. They're not helping people. They're setting people up to fail, or maybe they're trying to help, but they're setting people up to fail, or worse, they're just trying to make a quick buck at the expense of personal trainers. So I constantly complained about it, and I remember saying to Stephen, who's head of marketing in OFB, great marketer in his own right, I remember saying to Stephen, I could do this so well and like actually help people and teach people. And he was like, well, stop fucking complaining and do it. Like, do something about it or shut up, because I was bugging him, like just bad mouthing these people all the time. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I didn't want to be tarred with the same brush.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not a business coach. I'm not a mentor. I'm not a guru. Like, no interest in being tarred with that brush. And that was me, like looking back now, just worried about other people's opinions, which is just stupid. But so what I ended up doing, I was like, okay, Stephen, whatever. And then I worked with 10 PTs for 6 months. Okay, let's figure this out. I'm going to help you with your online stuff. And that was only because I was getting asked. Right? A lot of people were asking me at the time because, like I said, there wasn't other Project Leans. There wasn't all these other programs and people doing different online group challenges or people weren't doing it. There was some, but just not many. So people were asking me about it because I'd done some posts basically calling out some of the wrong that I see that people teach. So people were like, okay, show us what you've got. Help us. You tell us what to do. So I worked with these guys for 10 guys for 6 months.
It was me.
Yeah.
And I remember the Curious Student post. I think you put in Coffee with Dan, and that was when I jumped on board. So I must have been after that in that second group. After that.
So I launched this coaching kind of program for 6 months, and after it, to be honest, I was like, do you know what? I don't really want to do that because it was coaching. It was time intensive. I was like, nah, I've tried it, not for me. And then I was still getting nagged. I was still getting questions. I was still getting like, Sukh, help me. How much is it to work with you? Blah, blah, blah. I was still seeing people getting ripped off. And at the time, it felt like it was just happening more and more and more. Like it was just taking over. So it got to February last year. So February 2017. Dan Meredith in Coffee with Dan put a post up saying, if you need help with anything, post it below. So I comment this. So OFB was launched from a comment on a Facebook post, Facebook group. So all I did was I put a post saying, okay, cool, here's the help I need. I need 5 people to help me figure out, again, exactly what I teach in OFB. I need 5 people to help me figure out how to deliver the course that I want to create for personal trainers, for helping them like become online trainers. I think 18 people said yes. I did it for free. I think I did it for like £300. Mm-hmm. And what I said was basically the money will go into creating the course, website, and some copy that I needed writing. Everything else I'll give to charity. I can't remember how much it was, but that's exactly what I did. Built the website, signed up for the course, got some copy written. I can't remember what that was for. And gave the rest to charity. I think it was Dan's sister's charity, or the charity he supports with. And then that's what I did. And I was doing that from February to probably July, August. I had 2 guys working with me in Project Lean. I say with me, they were doing everything pretty much by that point. I was basically the face of a Facebook ad. That was it by that point. They wanted to go down different directions in terms of how the service was delivered. I liked so basically they wanted to go one-to-one. Like they liked working with clients one-to-one. They thought financially they could achieve what they wanted to achieve going down that route. So I was like, okay, cool, go with it, test it, made them partners. That happened for a few months. I decided that it was still, like, it just wasn't my business anymore, but it was still taking up a huge amount of my time. Trying to do 2 things at once, as you know, probably know with Sukh Sidhu, because I'm not training, and at the time I used to have a job as well. It's just so hard. What I ended up doing was both poorly. So, and I didn't want that to happen. I tried doing things like that in the past where I was like, I'm going to launch this, and this, completely separate businesses, and they're all shit because you're trying to do too many things at once. So basically what I'm going through now, and it's coming to an end this basically a 12-month transition period where it's okay, cool. I'm going to support you 1 day a week. Here's what I want financially from you each month, and I'm going to transition out of the business over those 12 months.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. In terms of why, like I said, I probably was, for me, a big factor in what I do is enjoyment. So if I'm not enjoying it, things will suffer. So it got to the point where the guys were delivering it. I was the face of a Facebook ad and taking care of loads of back-end shit. I was like, oh, why have I handed over the fun coaching stuff to these guys? They're doing an amazing job. And I'm kind of doing the shit in the background that is just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I loved helping. Project Lean was a great business. It was doing really well. But I saw more potential for me, happiness, financially as well, and to make an impact with OFB.
Yeah.
So I knew that if I launched OFB, I could probably make more money eventually, which would be better for me and my family. Like, I'm not afraid to say money is important.
Yeah.
Happiness-wise, I figured I'd be happier working with other business owners. I thought that would probably be easier to work with than the general public. Questioning that sometimes, because personal trainers are very difficult to work with sometimes. And I knew that if I help 100 trainers and they help 100 other people, I've just made an impact that I could never make with Project Lean.
Yeah.
And now obviously we're at like 300 students.
Yeah, it's crazy now how much it's grown.
Yeah, if they all go on to have a small positive impact, whether it's just getting people in a free challenge, whether it's just a piece of content that makes an impact on their audience, like indirectly, I could have a positive impact on millions of people. So those three things: financially, enjoyment, impact, working with the business owners. So you know what, this is, now that I've figured out that I don't have to be a guru, coach, or mentor. I can be an educator, which sat better with me. You know, I'm not a guru. I just own an education company. That's, for me, mentally, that was the differentiation that I needed.
Yeah.
For me to accept this new role, this new direction. So yeah, that was the reasoning behind it. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes loads of sense. It's good to hear, like, I guess the whole reason why you got into it, not just obviously about the 6-figure mentor side of thing, which pisses everyone off. So let's talk a little bit about OFB, what's involved in it as well. So give us like a bit of a rundown about what's in the course and obviously how it's going to help personal trainers or even online coaches better their business.
Yeah, so what is very different about OFB to all other kind of these online training programs, as far as I'm concerned, is that it's not here's the one way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I was encouraged when I started, like, just create your signature method for doing it and tell people that. And I was like, no, because there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
Different things work for different people. People want different kinds of businesses. So that's the first thing that's different. And what we do in OFB, for all the different ways to market your business, sell your services, deliver your services, we still go into detail about every single different way. So it's not just here's loads of detail on one way to do it. It's here's loads of detail. Here's the walkthrough. Here's the blueprint for Facebook ads, for creating a lead magnet, for using free challenges, for using paid challenges, for delivering one-to-one. We bring in people like Johnny Hopkins that we brought in because people did want to know more about high ticket selling. Here's Johnny. He's going to teach you exactly how to do that. We've got Leon in for Instagram. You've delivered an Instagram training. We've had Tanya in to deliver social media training. Like, we cover everything.
Every part,
everything. Nobody else is doing that. We also provide the support that just is fake in a lot of other programs. So, you know, the Facebook group is posted in daily. We're in there every day. I know me and you have spoke about KPIs of trying to get questions answered within certain time frames. And we're constantly trying to get better at that. So the support is there that I think people need. We provide the accountability, but the course is just so in depth and so simple to follow as well, and provides all the different ways that you can market and sell and deliver, all the different business models. And we cover everything. And as you know as well, it's added to all the time. Like, this is such a new sector within the fitness industry. Even if people have been doing it for 20 years, that's still brand new. So that's, we're changing all the time. We've got our ear to the ground. And what we do that I think a lot of other people don't is we learn from you guys. We learn from the students. So, we have some of the students, like, again, something that you've done is delivered a training on how you deliver your services.
Yes.
Dan Highcock done the same because his service is very different. Tom Blackman did the same on how he delivers his group coaching program. We've got Sam McKenzie coming in soon, how he delivers his nutrition-only coaching. And, he does things that probably aren't taught by anyone else. He visits his clients, he does blood tests with them, he speaks with them every week. And, it's a very different service. But if you're a nutrition-only practitioner, whether that's nutritionist, nutrition coach, whatever, then that's what you need. It's something a bit different. Yeah. So that's why I think it works so well. I think we've got a great community as well. Like, I haven't had to call anybody at any point out for being a dick. And that is insane, because PTs are dicks. And nobody's been one. No, I'm just joking. I haven't at any point. And I'm like, when is that going to come? When is somebody going to be mean to somebody else in the group? And it's just not happened.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm selling it, but I keep on remembering new things. I genuinely think that the live events are probably worth the course fee. Like, going to 3 live student events a year is an amazing way to upskill. You're going to learn, but you're also going to network with the other people there, get direct help, and leave driven as fuck. Yeah. Like, it's like when you attend an event, it's like, I'm going to do all those things tomorrow. So people go on and leave events and have like their best months. So yeah, that's why I love OFB.
Yeah, no, it's good. I see the passion when you're talking about it. And as a trainer who's been through it as well, like obviously Sukh was mentioning in regards to, it's not a one-size-fits-all program. Like, it's tailored for people who want to do massive group challenges, people who want to sell these high-ticket programs. Like, there's no way that obviously if you're an online trainer and your service is whatever it might be, that OFB can't cover it. Like, there's always something. And like you said, we learn from the students as well. Like you said, I've put my way of that I coach and teach in the group, and there's training on that. There's training from Tom about how he does his challenges. So yeah, it's an ever growing business, and I guess platform for coaches to learn from. So yeah, it's definitely one to join if you are looking at obviously becoming more advanced in your online coaching world. OFB Live, obviously that is not, well, when is it first of all, and what is it actually about?
So OFB Live is on June 24th in Manchester. So it's a live event. On the day, there are going to be 3 segments, if you like, or sections. Okay. So I'm going to be covering marketing. I'm going to go in depth into how to generate leads. So build an audience first, generate leads, and get those leads converting into clients. The second segment will actually be on the conversion side, so selling your services. And this is something that I'm really proud of that we're nailing recently within OFB, is that we're really keen to keep it moral and ethical.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to be able to sell your services. So in the second section, we're going to talk about that, how to sell your services, like on the phone, in your content every single day. I know you're familiar with planting the seed. I've started calling it product placement because people kind of get that as well. So not just sales calls, but selling every single day in your content without being high pressure, without being pitchy in everything that you do. Finding that balance of, yeah, you want to sell your stuff because that's what helps people and what makes you money, but you don't want to come across like a guy just going, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit every single day. Selling via email, all the different ways we can sell. And then the final section is how to actually deliver your services. So we're going to talk about a number of different business models, what some of the students are doing in terms of how they're delivering their services. But mainly what we're going to focus on in that delivery section is how to deliver any kind of model in a way that works for the coach time-wise and gets the clients the best results. It doesn't matter what model it is, whether it's one-to-one, whether it's group challenges, whether it's a membership site, whether it's high ticket, low ticket, it doesn't matter. It just has to be something that works for the coach and works for the client.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to focus on in that section. So if people can get to Manchester for June 24th, it'll be well worth it. I messed up completely. Here's a confession. I've been telling everybody that they need to get their early bird tickets by Saturday. So at the time of recording this, it's Friday the 1st of June. I thought the 1st of June was Sunday. So I've been telling everybody that they need to sign up before Saturday at midnight because then the price goes up. Today is the 1st of June, so the early bird tickets actually ended yesterday. But because I fucked up, I've even got a Facebook ad running right now telling people that they need to sign up before Saturday night, which is just wrong. But because I messed up, early bird registration will continue today, and then end tomorrow. So hopefully Jack gets this out today. We'll see. We're praying to the iTunes gods that everything goes through smoothly. And you'd be able to grab an early bird ticket and save. It's like by grabbing an early bird ticket, you save like over £170. So it's
cool.
ASAP.
Yeah, cool. And just to speak about the live events, like there's a lot of live events out there where you go and learn things, and I've walked away from them and I've just learned nothing on the day. But with OFB, you get actionable stuff to take away with. You're not just there to watch someone write on a whiteboard or sit through PowerPoints. You actually do stuff on the day, which really helps give a clear picture of what you're actually going to do when you leave the event, and not just go home and just forget everything that you've just went and learned. So yeah, it's for the cost of what it is, it's like one client. So yeah, I definitely get yourselves down to it if you can make it to Manchester. So before we obviously finish up, so where can we find out more about you? Where is the best place for it, for OFB and obviously anything else?
So onlinefitnessbusiness.com is the website. Get yourself over to there. If you want to find us on social media, Online Fitness Business on Facebook, and my Instagram username, I'm pretty sure is
Sukh Sidhu Online Fitness Business, I think, isn't it?
Sukh Sidhu OFB, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it might be Sukh Sidhu OFB.
Sukh Sidhu OFB. And what all this goes to show is that you can be terrible with social media and technology, still do really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sukh Sidhu OFB on Instagram. And by the way, we've got Georgia, who's our social media assistant, who runs my Instagram with me. So I still post stuff, but she just posts some gold on there. Like, she's killing it on there. So Instagram, like, if you want to just learn more, Instagram is a great place to go and check us out at the minute.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So all of the links to obviously Sukh's Instagram and also the free Facebook group, the Online Trainer Society, will be in the show notes as well, along with everything else. So that was a really good podcast. Really enjoyed obviously speaking to you, Sukh, and finding out more about the journey to where you are right now. I'm sure most of the people listening to this, and all of them, have took something away that they can now action in their own businesses, and hopefully we'll see some of them in June as well. So yeah, so thank you again for coming on, mate.
No worries, buddy. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Cool. So that concludes episode 7 of the Online Trainer Show. We'll be back next week with another episode, and we will speak to you very, very soon.